Would I be the a-hole if I told my wife she can't take our 13-week-old daughter to Australia on holiday without me? My wife and I are over the moon to welcome our first child into the world. The past 6 weeks have been nothing short of amazing. We're completely in love with her, and while it's been a challenging learning experience, every single day brings something new and wonderful to appreciate about her. There's something weighing on both of us right now, though. About 6 months ago, my wife casually mentioned that she'd like to travel to Australia with the baby to visit her family for a couple of weeks during her maternity leave. We didn't go into much detail at the time. I think I just responded with something like, "Sounds good, let's wait until the baby's here and settled." She didn't push the idea, and I didn't think much of it back then. Fast forward to a week ago, and we're sitting at the dinner table with my wife's family and our 1-month-old daughter when they start discussing flight details and plans. Australia hadn't come up in conversation for the past 6 months, so I was caught off guard. It turns out the trip is only about 9 weeks away. All I could feel was sheer panic, and it hit me I really don't want to be away from my incredible new baby and my wife for that long. After dinner, I opened up to my wife about how I was feeling. I knew she'd mentioned this plan before, but hearing the details made it feel so real, and I found myself panicking. I really don't want her to go halfway around the world with our newborn, especially without me. I don't think she's fully considered how challenging it would be to manage a long-haul flight solo, with a baby and 3 weeks worth of luggage. And from my perspective, the idea of my daughter being so far away for that long, especially at this young age, is really tough. I'm just starting to settle into fatherhood, and all I want is to spend every moment of my spare time with my new family. I worry that I might miss some of her incredible firsts. And if anything were to happen, I'd feel absolutely helpless from 10,000 miles away. Traveling for 3 weeks on such short notice just isn't possible for me. I can't get that time off work. But does it make me an asshole for not wanting them to go? We haven't had a real conversation about it yet, and she's hoping to fly out the first week of January. I understand she wants her family to meet our daughter and make the most of her maternity leave. But it feels way too soon to be taking a trip like this. Would I be the bad guy if I told her I don't want them to go? Or if I insisted they stay? Edit. Thank you all for the feedback. It's really helping me see things from different angles. This is only my second post on Reddit, and the response has honestly blown me away. From what I've read so far, this might help clarify a few things. My wife isn't actually from Australia, she's a Londoner, born and raised, and most of her close family is here in London too. The Australia trip, which we haven't booked yet, is to visit her stepsisters and their kids. And her mom and stepdad plan to fly out to for an extended stay. And fortunately, their flight dates won't line up with hers. My own family isn't close by either. They're up in the north of Scotland, about a 9-hour drive away. So they haven't been able to see our daughter as much as they'd like. Totally agree that I didn't push for more details when it was first brought up, and that's on me. I probably thought it's so far in the future that we can talk it through once the baby's here. Lastly, couple of reflections. Yep, I'm probably blowing this out of proportion in my head. I've read a lot of other people's personal stories, which has put this in perspective. Eyelines probably feel differently come to months' time. My wife is more than capable of flying this solo. She was a goddamn superhero giving birth. Lastly, being a dad is effing awesome. Just gotta keep that front of mind. Thank you for watching. Check my YouTube channel for more Reddit stories, link in bio.